Tonight on Podcast Them Down, we talk about really bad lip syncing.
Podcast them down.
Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim, from Podcast Them Down, and a bunch of bands in the description below. Yeah, it's been a long day, I don't feel like enumerating them for you, but you know, they're down there. They're all around us if you're watching us on YouTube. Actually, they're not. They're below us. Right there. See, right there. And over there. This really isn't working for the for the audio, is it? Anyway, joining me, of course, is Matt.
Hello.
Hello. From some band. Are you
Podcast Them Down?
Were you trying to lip sync?
Yeah, I was trying to. I sure was, Tim. It's really hard to do.
All right. Very little of this is going to translate to the audio.
You know, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, you've already made a huge mistake. Just pause it, go watch it on YouTube, and you'll thank us for it later.
But that's not what lip syncing is. You're just making your mouth weird.
No.
Frankly, I don't think you need to go through the effort. Just keep listening on the.
Yeah, just keep listening on your. You know what?
Audio.
Okay, how about this? Compromise.
Yeah.
Listen to the audio. Mark down times where you don't really know what's going on, and then go back and listen and watch the YouTube. And also smash that like button and hit the subscribe and tickle the alerts or whatever the fuck you're supposed to say.
Yeah, all that bullshit. Yeah. You know, I know kids, like little kids, who watch so much YouTube that they'd say, smash that like button. Like they can barely talk. They're like 3 years old.
Smash the like button.
The kids in question are not related to me. So,
okay.
FYI. All right. So, today, a couple days ago, but now I have a feeling this episode is going to be put on the back burner for a while.
All right. So several months ago.
So a while ago.
Back in 2022.
There you go. Kiss was performing live, and they got accused of using backing tracks after Eric Singer, the drummer, made a mistake at a concert in Antwerp.
I'm just impressed that they can get their rich asses out of their mansions in 2022.
Well, it's Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, and then some guys.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's still two pretty big rich asses.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know who's pretending to be Ace Frehley here. So
is Peter Criss just like looking at the phone? Guys, I'm not doing nothing.
Well, I have heard of Eric Singer, so maybe he's not that much of a nobody. Let's look him up real quick. Eric Singer.
I guess we should put.
Oh, that's why I've heard of him.
Kiss.
Here's what he's been in.
Generic. Okay.
He was in Black Sabbath. That's probably
okay.
And Gary Moore, Drive, Badlands, Kiss, Greg Chison, Stream, Gilby Clark, 28IF. He had a solo project. He was with Alice Cooper. He was with Avantasia. Fuck Tobias Sammet. I fucking hate Tobias Sammet, and I can't listen to Avantasia because of him. But that's a different episode. It's a different episode, and you can.
It is.
The preview of that episode is he said some unkind things about his American supporters in German on stage. And fuck him and his stupid hat. Anyway, he was also
you should have just reminded him about the scoreboard.
Chris Katana and Ronnie Montrose. What, the Germany lost twice?
Yeah. 0-2. USA, Germany.
So anyway.
I mean, 3 if you count those fucking Hessians.
I don't, but
Oh.
Yeah, so basically what happens is at the Kiss show is they're playing Detroit Rock City, and in the last verse, there's like
isn't that a Hammerfall song?
I mean, they covered it.
Oh.
And I might add the drum break is better in the Hammerfall song than Kiss's.
Yeah. I also like the Hammerfall version because they can't quite pronounce Detroit. Like, there's just something in the way they say it that's almost there. In Detroit, Rock City.
Have you heard their cover of My Sharona?
No.
Don't.
Oh, that's... Oh.
Well, no, that song's just an earworm and it was going to make you want to hurt something.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so Kiss is playing Detroit Rock City before the third verse, after the third verse. There's a drum break that I just mentioned, but I guess the drummer spaced out.
Okay,
and,
as drummers do,
right? And played the fill late, and that. But then the vocals you can hear are correct, and Paul Stanley goes up to the mic, but you can tell he's not singing. Right? And of course there's video of this.
Okay.
So we're gonna watch it in a second and listen to it, which I need to change the thing because we figured out how to do that recently. Change the output so you can hear my video. Anyway, Blabbermouth had an article, and it says, at the end of the track, singer who has played with Kiss on and off since 1991 apparently forgets to rest for a measure. According to YouTube commenter Austin Ogonoski. By the way, you're fucking wrong. There's a drum fill there. He doesn't rest. Fuck you. Instead continuing to play the standard beat for an additional 2 measures. Again, wrong. Plays it for 1 measure. Anyway, after Eric realizes he messed up, he begins the drum roll breakdown. Again, not the correct term. A measure late, which means Paul Stanley's vocal track is out of sync with what the band is actually playing. Paul's track plays "Everybody's Gonna Leave Their Seat" completely out of sync with the song when nobody is at a mic. Again, wrong, but he's near a mic. So I like how Blabbermouth thinks YouTube comments are news, but anyway, that's they put all that in so they didn't have to do the actual explanation. So how about we watch and or listen to it? And if you'll give me a second here. Oh man. All right, that.
Okay.
Change this. All right, and make that big. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so Paul Stanley's playing. All right, so listen to the drums right here.
Yeah.
All right, did you catch it?
Let's watch it one more time. I wasn't expecting all that pyro. Or also for this song to be so slow.
Oh yeah, you're used to Hammerfalls.
Okay, here's the fill.
All right, so once again.
Yeah.
Once again.
It's like right here, right?
Yeah, so you see Paul Stanley was late and he had to come back to the microphone. By now they're back on.
I mean, I believe they...
All right, so now everyone is saying that they are... they're using... what's all this? They're
Kiss leaked in-ear monitor feed with click. Holy shit! These assholes use a click track.
Wait, where is it? Where'd it go? That's why I fucking hate
Yeah.
YouTube. Come on. Thank you for watching this on YouTube. Let's see what this is.
Extreme sync up?
It's
the
2
whole
hours. It's fucking 2
God.
hours. Well, anyway, they're saying that the... Let's jump ahead.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
This is some
It
bullshit.
was not what it pretended to be. So, it just killed it. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm spinning 2 plates at once here.
No. Please.
Okay, so
We'll just play the audio for this episode in the background.
right.
And
Oh,
then
I'm
sync
not
up when
editing
you're-
out all this awkward shuffling of windows and
Because we do it
streams and whatnot.
fucking live.
Do it live. Fuck it. Fuck it.
Do it live! Fuck it!
I always have to
Do it live!
I always have to
can
do
go
the
out
second
and
one.
And we'll do it live!
do it
This is the
live.
best part. This is the best part.
Fucking thing sucks!
Keep going.
5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. And we'll see everybody next week
that's
for another
great.
episode of podcast.
So,
So amazing.
so anyway, people are now accusing Kiss of using doing what Milli Vanilli did. So, and Jessica Simpson. So they have vocals on a recording. They're playing to the recording, and that's it. So if you get off a measure, you can't fix the vocals.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think that's what happened here?
I mean, it sure looks like it. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good explanation to the contrary. Like, sometimes, okay, some artists very explicitly use backup tracks. Like, I forget if it was Beyonce or it's someone at an inauguration.
You are definitely reading ahead.
Oh, really?
Because
but
there's a back half to this episode.
okay, but I'm saying, like, there's times and places to lip sync, right? So I remember this story. I think it was Beyonce at like the second Obama inauguration, where it was just like crazy fucking cold, and she was like, "Yeah, like my voice would sound like shit trying to sing in like 20-degree weather. Like it's not a vocal performance. Like it's not. I'm showcasing my talent. I'm participating in this larger thing, and rather than sound like shit." I want it to sound good, so of course I'm going to use a track.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, Mariah Carey.
Remember
very
that?
famously.
Was that was like New Year's or something?
It was like, yeah, or a Christmas thing, and there
Yeah,
was like
and it
the
was-
dude, the NBC sound dude totally fucked her over.
Yeah, like, and she couldn't hear herself, and then
Yeah.
She sounded terrible, and everyone ripped her to shreds for the longest time, even though she could sing laps around
Yeah.
around anyone,
And so there
including
are
Paul
artists.
Stanley for the record.
So here's the thing, though. There's artists who are like studio artists. Like if you have definitely a Mariah Carey, but maybe even like a Beyonce, right? Like they're a full package performance, right? There's things I'm sure they do that with their instrument, right? With their voice. But to get like the crazy like 4-octave like shift that Mariah can do, like you need optimal conditions. Like if it's like 16% humidity, like that probably throws it off, right? But I'm not sure that I would put a Kiss concert in the same category, right? It's not that technically complicated. You kind of go for the spectacle. Yeah, they're like 75 or whatever.
So
maybe
I
we
did
should
look
take
it
that
up.
into
Paul
account.
Stanley is 70.
Okay. Oh, only 7. Oh, well, fuck that argument
Fucking
then.
70. All right. His real name is Stanley Burt Eisen. He's from New York
I don't
City.
see why he changed it.
Other names, The Star Child. I think.
Bert Stanley.
Hey, Bert.
and the star child, Bert Eisen.
He's got
But yeah,
4
I mean,
kids.
they all can get Social Security. They're all, as we mentioned, like Virgillionaires, or at least Gene Simmons is.
In the next 2 decades, they might be able to run for president.
I mean, they're all getting ready for their. Oh, hey, play the laugh track.
That doesn't get a full laugh.
Okay. They're, I feel like their touring is at this point only a courtesy. And so any of these big classic, if you go see Ozzy, if you go see Kiss, you have no right to complain if they're using backing tracks. It comes with the territory.
Well, are you talking about backing tracks? Or are you talking about... Okay, because this is a distinction I wanted to make.
Okay.
But let's put that on the back burner along with this episode, just for a minute. I think it'll be July. And when you're listening to this in July, you're going to go, okay, that's not so long ago. Anyway.
By the way, when you're listening to Black Metal Beach Party, just be aware that's all live performance. Recorded live from the side of the pool.
That explains the acoustics.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Let's go back to this Blabbermouth article.
Okay.
I don't care about. Oh, they have someone talking about a comment from Facebook that they reported as news. Anyway, ever since Kiss's End of the Road trek launched in late January 2019, there's been a persistent online chatter about Paul allegedly singing to a backing tape. The speculation stemmed from the fact that Stanley has been struggling to hit the high notes in many of the band's classic songs for a number of years. 3 years ago, former Skid Row singer Sebastian Bach defended Kiss against claims that the band is using pre-recorded tracks during its farewell tour, saying that Stanley sang his ass off live during a concert in California. I have seen way more obvious use of backing tracks than with Kiss, Sebastian wrote on Twitter. Fozzy frontman Chris Jericho also defended Stanley's vocal performance on the End of the Road tour, saying that the Star Child has nothing to prove to anybody. Jericho explains he's one of the greatest rock and roll singers of all time. I think that's something that anybody would say. I would much rather have him use the technology that's available to not sound like he's hurting himself, which then makes me not enjoy the show as much. Bach's comments come just hours after Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx called out another band for using tape vocals during its live performance after it previously derided other groups for doing the same thing. Okay, so he goes on to say Motley Crue uses backing tracks. Okay. And then, let's see.
Oh yeah, kickstart my tracks.
So after Kiss played on NBC's America Got Talent in September 2018, Stanley was asked by Rolling Stone if that was actually a live performance or if he and his bandmates tracked it earlier. Quote, what you tend to do is record it live. That's why you know everything is as it should be, he responded. It's not like going into the studio or anything like that. It's, with all its imperfections, it's live.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sixx from Motley Crue, he says we've been doing it since 87. We've been using backing tracks since 87. And then the guitarist from Motley Crue, Mick Mars, admitted that he wasn't comfortable with the fact that his band used pre-recorded backing vocals, claiming that he preferred to watch groups whose performance delivered it entirely live. Here's the thing. Motley Crue's backing tracks are sequencers, subtones, background vocal tracks, plus background singers and us. Motley Crue also tapes stuff we can't tour with, like cello parts and ballads, etc. We love it and don't hide it. It's a great tool to fill out the sound. So here's the thing. Gene Simmons in 2015, slammed bands who use backing tape, saying, I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist uses backing tracks. It's like the ingredients in food. If the first ingredient on the label is sugar, that's at least honest. It should be on every ticket. You're paying $100. 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks, and they'll sing sometimes. Sometimes they'll lip sync. At least be honest. It's not about backing tracks. It's about dishonesty. There's nobody with a synthesizer on our stage. There's no samples on the drums. There's nothing, Gene continued. There's very few bands who do that now. AC/DC, Metallica, us. I can't even say that about U2 or the Rolling Stones. There's very few bands who don't use backing tracks. And Metallica does not use recorded backing tracks. So they do have like intro tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have plenty
that's a little
but
different.
That's different, right?
Yeah, well,
because
I would suspect that the reason is, how would you make Lars play to a metronome?
Or you, I mean, you can't wheel out Marianne Faithful every time you go to like wherever you are.
In like a hermetically sealed,
like in like the Hannibal Lecter thing. I mean, there's so many things to consider here. When was the Gene Simmons comment?
2015, 7 years ago.
7 years ago. 7 years ago. And this is clearly, I mean, this is billed as their farewell tour, right? And this isn't like
one of many farewell tours that Kiss has had. Yes.
They do like the Rolling Stones, like every 15 years they do a farewell tour. You better see it now. Gene's gonna die. He's got hepatitis. This ain't makeup.
Which one? All of them.
All of them. He has the trifecta. Should have drank that water in Bangladesh. I don't know. I mean, part of it, I think, is it's definitely a point of pride. I'm very conflicted. It's a point of pride to like go see a band live. Like, there's nothing more amazing than live music. Like the energy, the sense that you're part of this organic thing that like no one has ever heard it before. No one will ever hear it again, right? You're like part of this experience that's you, everyone else in the fucking hall or auditorium or arena, and the band, and like it's this like private, fleeting moment in a world of YouTube and bootlegs and all this, and recording and processing, right? It's raw, real, fucking rip your guts out music. At the same time, I would, especially if I mean, no offense to all the Kiss fans in the audience, but if I'm seeing a nostalgia act, like literally a band whose most interesting recent song came out the year I was born, like...
What song would that be?
When was I'm in Love with Loving You?
Oh, jeez. Was that their disco song?
That was their disco song.
They, in Detroit Rock City, the movie... They're all like down on disco, right? And there's one of the characters says, if there's one thing Kiss will never do, it's release a fucking bullshit disco song.
Oh, sorry.
And it takes place in 1979.
I Was Made for Loving You comes out in 1979. Let's look at the Kiss discography here.
Destroyer's the best album by far.
Well, yeah, but that's like 50 years ago. What I'm trying to... Kiss singles, all right. Kiss singles. I Was Made for Loving You.
Oh, Love Gun's pretty good as well.
Love Gun is pretty good. Yeah, that crazy.
Did Lick It Up come out after Smell the Glove from Spinal Tap?
I don't really want to know.
I'll look that up while you.
But what I'm saying is, like, okay, I'm sure there's Kiss super fans out there who love every album. But it's a lot like Iron Maiden. Like, do you tolerate new Iron Maiden music just to hear Iron Maiden music? Yes. But is new Iron Maiden music good? Not at all.
But Bruce Dickinson still can sing very well.
Yeah, but I mean,
unless he's a cheater. Lick It Up came out before This Is Spinal Tap came out.
Okay. But also, Bruce Dickinson, I believe, is like 10 years younger, at least.
Yeah.
He's 63. So, I mean, I'm sure Bruce Dickinson, in 2032, if he's playing to if he's singing, lip syncing, the choice is what's better. Like, if I'm seeing Kiss ostensibly for the last time, would I rather it sound good, or would I rather them sound like they're actually gonna sound? And I think possibly, I mean, I recognize, especially metal is based on not being a poser. You know, there's like some like role of like, I'm not playing to a fucking track, man. This is real goddamn music. But also, like, this isn't like CBGBs. You know, this is like, this is a fucking soccer stadium in Rotterdam or wherever the fuck this is. Like, Kiss is here, and I think I'd rather hear a good song that everyone knows from some like detergent commercial more than the album now.
Well, so I too am conflicted if bands are lip syncing or not. If I'm there to see Kiss, I probably don't care.
Right.
You know?
Right.
However, Judas Priest, you know, Rob Halford sings everything. Something happened on your fancy future watch. Rob Halford sings everything. And including stuff he probably shouldn't, such as Painkiller. And I've seen him do Painkiller more times that sounded like it hurt.
Yeah.
Then I've seen him do it that sounded good and was, you know, kudos for him for trying and being true, but maybe just don't put that song in the set list anymore. It's one of my favorite Judas Priest songs.
I mean,
but would I rather hear it performed not perfectly?
Yeah.
You know, Rob Halford, unfortunately, is not 1990 anymore. You know?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to use a wrestling analogy, but I'll use a wrestling analogy. Like, there's definitely wrestlers who are way too old to wrestle. Like classic people you remember from the good old days, right? And every once in a while, they'll trot out. And they're the guys who are clearly aware of their age and will do a move, and it you know, they get a big pop just for who you are. Like, God bless them for showing up. And then they go back into the dressing room and like try to find like a ride home. And then there's other guys who will do something incredible. Like, will do like a big gimmick, and like, you know, they'll fall off the top of a ladder or something. And part of you is like, this is fucking amazing. You know, Sting hasn't lost a beat. But another part of you is like, Sting is 58 years old. Like, how is his pelvis not shattered? I don't want to see this wrestler I love die. Like, that's not cool. Right? So, I mean, part of me, you know, if it's a titan of metal, titan of rock and roll, you know, for Kiss's case, I think I might rather them lie to me, and just, you know, and I'm sure, hey, play it in the studio before you do the tour, and play that, you know, it's not Milli Vanilli weren't those guys singing, right? Those were other people singing.
Those were other people. Yeah, that is different. Yeah.
If it's a genuine performance that Paul Stanley sang, and like, you know, he's an old man and you know, he's jet lagged and has to play like 16 shows in Europe to like get his multiple alimonies paid. I'm not going to begrudge the man for singing to a track, you know, a couple nights a week.
Yep.
Because also, he's not the vocalist. You know?
Don't they share vocals?
They share vocals, but when you think of vocals, I mean, I think it's more of a trading off. But I feel like Gene Simmons is I feel like it's more odious if Gene is singing to a track
Perhaps.
as the
so-
front man.
So there are two things that keep getting conflated. And I know we're like a half hour in, but I think now is a good time to point them out. People keep saying backing tracks and lip syncing at the same time. Those are not the same things.
Yeah.
So the way it works is...
I mean, I know the difference, but maybe you could refresh for the audience what the difference between the two is.
The way it works is basically you have some file that has a bunch of tracks on it. So, you know, like you listen to a stereo song, there's a left track and a right track.
Okay.
Well, you can have some file with 32 tracks or 24 tracks or 18 tracks or 16 or 8 or, you know, whatever. And let's say 2 of those tracks are keyboards, you know?
Uh-huh.
And one of those tracks has got to be the click. So then the tempo, right? So then when these bands are playing to backing tracks,
Because we should also mention...
They hit play. Someone hits play. Usually the drummer will hit play, and he'll get the tempo of the song, and then he'll count the tempo, and then they'll all play.
Right.
And basically, traditionally, just the drummer has to stay with the recording. And since it's just an audio file, you know, they pick and choose what's going to come out of the PA. You know, so the keyboards happen at the right time, or the cello comes in, you know, for example. Or the backing vocals, and that is mostly how I've seen it used is synth, because it's expensive to hire another guy to play synths on your tour, you know, or something that's a one-off in one song, like a violin part, for example. Yeah. You know, in the ballad. I'm not gonna
pay a fucking mandolier come play a mandolin. I can play that off a track.
Right. Or there was something else. Backing vocals.
Backing vocals.
So you have like a nice mixed backing vocals that's going to really fill out the sound when you do it. Some bands I've seen, like they're on tour, their bassist couldn't get into the country.
Mm-hmm.
So they just played a recording of the bass, and there's no bassist on stage. And so that's the kind of thing where people start to get angry. And then, as Mike and I discussed a long time ago, you could sync up some kind of MIDI stuff along to the backing track and have a synchronized light show, as long as you play to the backing track, and like everything, or like automated patch switching, you know, like it controls all your effects.
Because even the most talented light guy couldn't do that live, right? That has to be controlled.
Even if he wasn't a whiny little bitch on.
Yeah, I mean,
and
even if the band listened to his perfect design.
I'm getting this. That's a Patreon only episode, so there is a link to the Patreon down there.
You cheap bastards.
It's as little as $1 a month. You could listen to us mock lighting guys.
You can listen to critically acclaimed episodes that weren't cast any aspersions at.
And so I'm pretty sure all the better lighting guys are on Reddit, because otherwise they'd be hired and doing a job. Those are the successful, happy lighting guys that are competent. Anyway. So yeah, I've seen bands play without a musician. But the criticism is that it begets sterile. So like, because every night it's exactly the same. They're not responding to any energy. They're just playing to a recording.
Okay.
Right? And so it's too perfect. You know, you might
I can see that.
Some rough edges. And I found it kind of annoying when I saw Winter Sun. And apparently the count off for the song was in their in-ears. So they'd all just start the song. They'd be like, this next song is such and such. And then there'd be an awkward moment while the count off was counting up, and then they go. But that was not the most annoying thing at that Winter Sun show. The other annoying thing was they brought a camera person, and she was walking around the stage, like putting the camera in people's faces, the band's faces, and I was just like, get a zoom lens and do it from somewhere else, you know? Anyway, so that is a more traditional use of backing tracks, is thickening the sound. The part where I don't like it anymore is when they're pretending they're doing something they're not. And that's what Paul Stanley did. But as we said, I'd expect Kiss to lie to me to get a better show. you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all that. But let's bring it to Dream Theater.
Uh-oh.
So, a couple months before all this happened, people started saying that Dream Theater is using backing tracks, and then all the James LaBrie haters, and there are tons of them, started complaining, and they just want to rip this man to shreds. Okay? So, and I'll start with this Reddit post. In the Dream Theater subreddit, B Road Maya writes, "It's sad, but never in my wildest dreams did I envision James LaBrie lip syncing, even with all his issues." YouTube link is timestamped, so judge for yourself, and that's what we're gonna do. So, I brought all that up, all the stuff up to preface what we're about to see, and that is what I believe is it's James LaBrie, it's the backing track kicking in that he's singing along to, and he's not lip syncing the show. I have seen Dream Theater probably more times than most other bands.
Okay.
And it is very clear that James LaBrie is not lip syncing, but I am 90% sure they are using backing tracks, especially because Jordan Rudess, the keyboardist back here, has sheet music synced up to the music.
Well, that seems slightly suspicious.
All right, so this is what he linked. This is a song called Bridges in the Sky.
Okay.
Yep, so he's just singing.
Okay, pause.
Pause it?
Yeah. I like the one guy up in the front who just did gave very non-committal horns.
Well, so this is a Dream Theater set that's they have a very formulaic set list now. They'll do a bunch of songs off the new album, like too many, that people don't love.
Who loves the new album? Because we're playing all of it,
right? And then they'll do a bunch of deep cuts and maybe one song that the people want to hear. The type of people who are like, I want, not that I'm directly quoting someone who commented on a Fade to Black Metallica tribute post.
Uh-oh.
But they said, only play songs from the first 3 albums. Yeah, fuck you. That's what we say. That's what I say. I don't represent the opinions of everyone in Fade to Black. But I will say, no. There are other songs And you like them. That's the same people who, I've said this before, but same people who are going, I only like the first 3 albums, 4 albums, 5 albums. You know, that number always fluctuates. They all sing to King Nothing and Fuel. So they're a bunch of fucking posers is what they are. Anyway.
Like, you can go take a piss.
Yeah.
That's
your bathroom break. Don't do it during anesthesia.
Yeah, during
people love
Damage
the first album
Incorporated.
so much. Why do they leave during anesthesia? I will never understand.
Oh, it is a bass solo.
It is a bass solo, but it's the best bass solo of all time. Anyway, let's go back to this. All right. So, did you see it? It was right there.
No, I don't even know what you're talking. Okay.
All right. Did you see it again? He pulls away from the mic before the note's over.
I play this for me one more time. This is like, weirdly, the Dream Theater one is like a super technical, trivial, minutia shit.
Yeah. Yep. So he pulls away before the note.
Fuck! This guy's a fucking phony. He's a goddamn phony.
Okay, if you're gonna lip sync, if you're gonna record it, wouldn't you put that note in tune? That's sharp. That's sharp.
Yeah, that's live.
This is live. So what I think happened is they had the backing tracks up loud there. So, and I have a better example of this from the most annoying video I'm going to show you tonight. This is a guy who's so bitter about Dream Theater. He's one of these people, and I've heard this too, that says James LaBrie hasn't been able to sing since 1994.
Is this going to be a video you recorded earlier today? Is this just going to be you?
Nope. This is called More Proof of James LaBrie and John Petrucci using Playback's Dream Theater Lip Sync Gate 2022.
Lip Sync Gate? Wow. Yeah. Okay, right. But just before we play this, let me just clarify. So you think that what that video we just watched is he has it's not his performance that's a lip sync, but they have like a background vocal, like just kind of a sweetener behind it.
Yeah. And I think it was particularly loud.
And there, basically, he's singing live, but the sweetener went longer than he sustained the note.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. So, but then when, he does the next part, all the notes are off. So.
Right. Yeah. It sounded like shit.
So if you're going to cheat, why not cheat right?
Unless you're that fucking smart.
But like I said, I've seen Dream Theater so many times. He was never perfect, you know, but the backing vocals were if you want proof that John Petrucci's not the best backing vocalist, go look up, Metropolis, the DVD. He's him and Mike Portnoy are just so pitchy, That's probably why they went to backing tracks. So, I think it's mixed in with their real vocals too.
Before you play this, I would also like to say I really appreciate the use of the BBC News font.
All right, so for our audio listeners and our video listeners, because this is cropped weird, it says, since posting my video about the fake vocal line of Bridges in the Sky from the recent Dream Theater shows, new clips have been brought to my attention, highlighting LaBrie and Petrucci's use of playbacks.
Is this guy the fucking special prosecutor for backing tracks?
Yeah,
the committee investigation has some amazing video to show you.
This guy. So yeah, my line is don't pretend. That's where my line is. I guess you could argue that they're pretending to sing the backup vocals, but a primary instrumentation is not where they're
I mean, still, I think goal 1, good sounding show. Good 2, as live as you can make it.
And still sound good.
Right. But I mean, see goal 1, right?
Yeah. Yep. All right. So here we go. All right. So got some sounds from
Weird shit going on.
Yeah, this is from one. This clip from the February 6, 2022 in Oakland, California is very subtle. He didn't put it on the... Oh, it's way loud.
Is that the same thing we just watched?
He's going to show it over and over and over again. He says there are two different occurrences of deep. Yeah, so I hear it. It's very hard to hear. But there's one... All right, hang on. I gotta read this whiny bullshit next.
Okay.
But so there's one line where he goes, but he's in too deep. And then the other one is, but he's in too deep. You know?
Okay.
And he's going, oh, this ruins my I want my money back because they're fucking cheating. No. No, there's a backing line and it's synced on top. That's what's going on. Anyway, so this guy goes on to whine, I've heard no end of excuses from Dream Theater fans about why this sort of thing is okay. It's not really lip syncing if the singer is harmonizing. The band is just trying to make the sound fuller. So he's mocking the people with like reasonable explanation. Some singers are using guide vocals to sound better due to audience being too harsh on them. Again, Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
You know? And Dream Theater, James LeBrie could have a perfect night and people are still going to say he hasn't been able to sing in 25 years.
But I mean, also, I defy anyone. You sing better to a track that has the vocals than you do. This is why everyone's a great singer in their car, but not everyone's a great karaoke singer.
Well,
like there's
King Diamond has a lady on tour who also sings, but you can't like hear her, and I'm pretty sure she's King Diamond's pitch reference. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Like, she sings and he hears it and matches it. That's a theory. That's a hypothesis.
No, but I buy it. If you're doing a big theater, if you're doing an arena, for God's sake, how can you have any sound reference? Like, just playing the acoustic music I play, right? I've been in a shitty room and everybody's off because it's like straight up traditional music. Yeah, I can't hear the drum and the lead instrument. So how am I? It's like, you know, outside, like in a shitty hall. Like, of course. And people are paying. Like, I feel like more like for all the pieces of shit who's going to make like whiny YouTube videos, like how many more people are going to be pissed if it just sounds like garbage?
Garbage. All right. So we'll watch a little more of this. I'll probably put it in the description along with all the other piles of crap I got to put in there. But, you know, if not, just search for whiny Dream Theater loser.
Yeah.
And it'll come right up. All right. So let's see. He goes on and he whines.
Search Dream Theater Black Pill.
He writes a fucking paragraph. All right, so this is the backing vocals kick in before he gets there. But no, I'm sorry. This is the guitar is harmonized on the backing track. So he broke a string, but you can still hear the end of the guitar solo. Listen again.
I mean, that's clearly the backing track.
It's the backing track. It's the lower harmony. Yeah. Dream Theater has one guitarist. Okay. So then this guy says, since you hear the string breaking, it could be either that the solo was layered with a playback, which is what it was, or that just the final note was pre-recorded for some reason. Here's a reason. So he could switch to the rhythm part. And it sounds... in either case, it's unacceptable. And most likely means JP is faking other parts. No, it's just the harmony to make it sound better. Like, so if he thinks that's cheating, is using a harmony pedal cheating because he's not playing the harmony.
Oh. Yeah. Like, is a sustained pedal cheating?
Oh, yeah. Like,
You're not playing that on the piano. It's playing it for you.
let's look at this real quick. So this guy's complaining that John Petrucci is cheating. John Petrucci has no wire going to his guitar. He's using a wireless. Right. He is sponsored by Mesa, but he uses digital effects. And I believe he's also recently started using amp modelers instead of amps.
Okay. Fucking poser.
Okay. And no sound the guitar makes is natural. It's heavily processed.
Well, it's an electric guitar.
It's an electric guitar.
I mean,
you know, like there's so much polish on this processing.
Yeah.
You know, like, why is having the harmony on a recording bad?
I don't know.
This guy is so whiny, and we're not even halfway through the video. So let's see what else is in here. All right, let's return to the now infamous section on Bridges in the Sky. Watch this. All right. He always turns his back to the audience during this part as if he's ashamed trying to hide
Oh
something.
my God.
Oh, shut up.
This is a good song, by the way.
I like it. See, I'm Dream Theater's target audience now because I'll buy the new album, I'll enjoy it, and I want to see deep cuts. You know?
Yeah.
He slows it down. Yeah, so maybe they even just punched that line in, and that's...
I mean, but it's clearly like a transition point in the song. I mean, I don't know the song very well, but...
I'm gonna fucking clarify something right now, okay?
Uh-oh.
In LeBrie's defense of himself, he claims he's singing an octave down harmony on Bridges in the Sky.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's his response, which I love. Let's go back.
Fucking lip syncing? Fuck you.
You know, it'd be hilarious if that was like on a track. like that's what I would have done. Like if I was a Dream Theater.
All right. Oh, so now that he said that, let's go back and I want to try to hear. I want to try to hear his lower octave real quick. Yeah, I mean, well, but like he explained it. I can't hear it, frankly.
I can't hear it either. What the fuck is this?
All right, so this is like other shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this guy is just like so butthurt. Like,
What,
dude,
what does he have to gain?
he exists to tear down something everyone else loves.
This is like he's like the like itchy hit the same rib twice kind of guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he is. Like, it's like, dude, just cool out and enjoy it. And come on, how for percentage wise, how much of that show could really be pre-recorded?
Yeah.
You know, I'm guessing very little. Like, Jordan Rudess is doing far more cheating than James LeBrie.
Yeah.
And no one's mad at him.
Well, for that reason.
But yeah, fucking, and don't go to the comments. All right.
Oh no.
This episode's already too long, but here's some comments. Damn how
comment as well.
Damn how one of the big boys has fallen. I wonder, and maybe you can answer these questions since you seem to know a lot about the band's history, I guess. Do you think we would be hearing a different story if about LeBrie if number one, he had rested his vocals for some months after tearing them apart in 1994 instead of going on the Awake tour? Number two, had he not kept using that weird distortion grit technique he had used for Awakes? A lot of professionals think the way he did his vocal fry in Awake is actually what ended up killing his vocals, not singing nonstop. Number 3, if they had listened to Portnoy and actually stayed down for a bit when he said no in 2009, 2010, like there's your prototypical Dream Theater fan.
Do you remember
James
that
LaBrie
episode?
hasn't been able to sing a note since 1994, even though he's sung great since 1994, and Mike Portnoy was right. Like, this has all the hallmarks of a Dream Theater fan you want to punch in the fucking face.
Do you remember that episode way back at the beginning of the podcast that you did? It was like the iced earth. Or no, it was the Dream Theater
Dream
iceberg.
Theater iceberg. Well, the iced earth iceberg is
That's a different
is all David Icke stuff, I bet.
Yeah. And stuff we can watch about all right, we did watch about in those hearings last month. But I feel like I'm on that Dream Theater iceberg, freezing to death when I'm hearing these comments.
Yeah, and here's another thing. The guy who posted all this calls himself the Ravenskill Rebel Militia. So that is that's a reference to a widely panned Dream Theater album.
All that but this is
like no one likes that album.
right, but he does. And so he hates the fandom for not liking the shit. I'm sure there's like Saint Anger apologists who are like, ride the lightning, some bullshit.
Well, I've never heard anyone say that, but I hear people saying they like Saint Anger.
I mean,
Genuinely.
Right. But like, can you imagine someone take it to like Bob Rock is the best bassist Metallica ever had?
All right. Well,
wait, I do want to expose my total hypocrisy, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of people, a lot of our podcast and down comments videos are going to take all of our quotes out of context and say that you, Tim, and me, Matt, are a bunch of fucking posers, and that we support backing tracks and pre-recorded vocals. And you know what? Maybe it'd be better if the just band showed up as holograms and didn't even have to like put on their goofy makeup for the show. Listen to me. Tracks and live performance can coexist, but they're in the right balance. I direct you to the most amazing episode of Versus ever, which was Jadakiss versus Camron. Amazing, legendary rap battle. If you haven't seen it, you need to go on YouTube and see it. Jadakiss was just rapping all of his songs just to the instrumental tracks. Camron, great rapper. I love Camron, but he was singing over his tracks. And halfway through, Jada was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? How come you're rapping over your raps? Can't you do this on your own?" And Jada demolished him. Everyone in the world agreed Jada demolished him. So, can you use backing tracks? Absolutely. Do you want to give the audience a perfect performance? Sure. But should you be a fucking poser about it? Not at all. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I was thinking we should do. I need to say the outro part now.
Oh yeah.
Say the outro.
Oh right.
All right. And I'm gonna say the outro in 3, 2, 1.
And that's the end of Podcast Down, everybody. Make sure to check out all the links downstairs and steelresolve.com. And I don't know why I sound like Santa now, but, sometimes it's something Timothy does. Catch you later, metal friends. Bye-bye.
Cast them down.
I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting that.